A Fox 59 investigation tonight finds members of Indy's Citizens Police Complaint Board still aren't meeting their required training hours and haven't now for years.
We raised the red flag about that issue. That was in October 2020. David Hampton, who was then the deputy mayor, told us the board was still functional.
I think they've been able to do their jobs with the review process of police complaints, and it hasn't hindered that process.
But Deputy Mayor, if they are making these decisions, what are they basing their knowledge on?
I don't want to make any excuses for the board, but I can assure you we are working together with not only the city council, but the board and the office to ensure that going forward, the training takes place as it should, and that we don't have these gaps.
The Citizens Police Complaint Board reviews formal complaints against IMPD officers made by you, citizens. It decides if police behavior meets the department policy standard.
Courtney Crown with Fox 59 Investigates continues that investigation tonight, showing us that actually very little has changed despite those promises. Courtney?
Well, Dan, in our review of the years 2018 through 2021, no more than one board member met their required hours each year. Tonight, we're pressing elected leaders for a plan. Voting members of the Citizens Police Complaint Board must complete 20 hours of police procedure training and 16 hours of ride-alongs with IMPD officers. The city code says members must complete 20 training hours within 6 months of beginning their 3-year terms. But some members reported 0 hours while remaining on the board.
This is a volunteer board, and therefore we understand people have busy schedules. Folks have to be meeting those hours or coming very close to them.
Mr. Bryant.
The most egregious example of the issues with training hours is that of Board Vice President Michael Bryant. Public records show no training hours recorded in 2018 and merely 4 ride-along hours.
Control 412.
Only 10 recorded hours of training in 2019 and no ride-alongs. 2020, no hours recorded for ride-alongs or training. And he still didn't meet his required training or ride-alongs in 2021.
Ms. Clerk, can we do a roll call, please?
Yet, Bryant was reappointed by the City County Council in December.
I think 4 years is unacceptable, and we have to do a better job of tracking that. Mrs. Norton.
Records show current board president Jennifer Norton met her hours in 2019 and 2021, but did not in 2018 nor 2020. The other 2 current board members who also served last year did not meet their training hours in 2021. IMPD says it did allow ride-alongs for board members throughout the pandemic.
This is an issue we had, particularly as we got into the COVID months and years, and so the council took a look at that, made training hours more flexible with virtual and remote options.
9 voting members make up the Citizens Police Complaint Board. They're appointed by the Mayor's Office and the City County Council. This year, 4 new members started.
Oh yes, we'll set the standard. You know, when folks get on the board, and the people that are on the board now, what's been wonderful is that the director, Pierce, has built-in training during the board meetings.
Pastor Kenneth Sullivan, a council appointee, started his term in 2022.
I get it. It's important for all of us to make sure that when we step into these roles, to whom much is given, much is required.
He says the board's training requirements are tough for a volunteer board, but he understands the requirements.
What would you want the viewers to know about going forward, how things will be different?
This new group of complaint board members wanting to meet their hours and wanting to demonstrate that they are committed to strengthening this board.
The CPCB cannot discipline officers. IMPD's Internal Affairs investigates a citizen's complaint, while the Complaint Office's independent investigator analyzes 2. Ultimately, the board merely votes to endorse or not endorse the investigation's findings.
The past years, there may have been some challenges, but now we're moving on to making sure that we're setting the right pace.
Elected leaders pledge the board will improve. They point to the mayor's new director of the Citizens Police Complaint Office and say they will look at the city ordinance.
If we don't get you to a point where after 6 months, 9 months to a year, that you have a time to fulfill the requirements of the training hours, we will politely ask you to step down.
We will set those standards of what we want them to reach, and then also show those opportunities of when they can actually attend.
Well, Chairman Leroy Robinson says the public will be updated on the progress of the Citizens Police Complaint Board within the next several months, and we'll be checking in to see if anything changes. Reporting in the newsroom, Courtney Crown, Fox 59 Investigates.
Courtney, thank you for staying on top of this one. Well, right now on Fox 59, we go further in depth on this story. We break down just how much training each member has done. You can also listen to the full interviews with the council members. All of that up right now on fox59.com.